Hello guys, welcome. In today's video, we are going to talk about some functions which are used in Python. So first let's talk about all function. So all function is used to check the certain condition present in all atoms in the list. So first we will discuss the basic syntax of the all function and then we will be moving towards its practice program. So in this practice program, we take the numbers from the user, and if the user entered the number correctly, then we will add those numbers, and if the user did not and write the correct input, then we will generate a message which will be saying that wrong input inserted. We have to make this program by using the all function, and then we will be moving towards any function. So any function is just like the all function. The difference is that any function will check the certain condition in all atoms present in a list. If any one of the atoms meets the certain criteria, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. We will be also discussing its syntax and uses. So, and then we will be moving towards minimum and maximum function. In the practice program, we will generate the person's name who scores high. So and then we will discuss about the sort function. So the sort function we use to sort our data. And the practice program, we are going to apply the sort method in a dictionary. We are going to sort the atoms present in a dictionary by using their key values. And then we will discuss about docstring, that what is the docstring and how it can help to improve our program. So these all the things we are going to discuss in this video. If you want to learn all these things, please stick to me at the end of this video. So now let's get started. Now first let's talk about all function. So as we discussed earlier, all function is used to check the certain condition in all the atoms present in a list. So I am going to create a list called num1, and this num1 list contain the even numbers 6, 8, and we have 10. And we have another list, I am calling it num2, and this list contain all the odd numbers. Now I am going to apply the all function here, so we can understand its basic syntax. So I am using all, and inside the all function I have to write a condition. So suppose if the remainder, if I am going to separate the even numbers, so their remainder must not be equals to 0. So it means it's not equal. For I am using here comprehension for I in. So if I am going to write here num1, and if I am going to write here num1 which contains all the even numbers, so it means that all of their remainder will be equal to 0. So it should return false. So as I am going to run this program, you can see that it is returning false because so none of the atoms present in num1 satisfies the condition. Now if I write here 1 and again run the program, you can see that the all function will check each atom. If only the one atom or the two atoms satisfies the condition, so it will not directly print the true. For if I want that true must be the output, so I have to change all the atoms, and not only the single atom present in a list that does not satisfy the condition basically. So as you can see, if I write here num2 and if I again run this program, you can see that it is returning true. So if I just write here 10, which is basically does not satisfy this condition, so if I again run this program, you can see that it is returning false. So if I am going to use the all function in my programming, I have to make sure that all the atoms in my data structure must follow the condition which I inserted. So if I'm going to again run this program, you can see that it is returning true. I hope the basic format of the all function is clear. Now we are moving towards the practice program. So we have to take the number from the user, and if the user entered the correct input, then we can add those number. Otherwise, we will generate a message. Now, so I am going to use a function for the name of the function is add, and we have discussed star args in our previous videos. So that is why I'm using it as an star arc. And I'm going to use the if condition. So in in the if condition, I am using the all function. So I am going to basically check the type of the input. So if user enter the input which is not even a number, so user can enter a string. So a string, as we all know, that a string cannot be added like the numbers. So we can generate a message. So I have to basically check the type of the input which user entered. So I am using type function here to check the type of the input, and the type must be integer, and that, or the type must maybe the float, right? We can also add the numbers in float if they are in decimal. So, and at last I have to apply for loop I in args, because args is our argument of the function. All right, now inside the if condition, I am going to create a t variable and store 0 value to it, because t is our basically a total variable which we will be returning at the end of the function. And then I am applying for loop. So I have used I in I variable here, so I am using here j in args to check each element in args. So, and then I can directly just add j into it. So I can just return if this condition satisfies. If user entered this condition, then I can just directly return here t. What we are doing here, if this condition matches, that user enter either integer data type or float data type, then this condition satisfied, and t variable will be created in the memory, and for loop will run, and t will be, and the whatever the user entered will be added and returned here. But if user entered something else, so I'm using the else condition here, so we can directly just need to print the message. So I can directly write here wrong input. All right, now I can just call the function here. So the name of the function is add. So suppose I write here 1, 2 and 3. So if I run this program, you can see that their sum is appearing at the output. So I can also write here a float value. You can see that 3.9 is a float number. You can see that it is working. But what if I write here something which is not even a number, neither integer nor float? So if I write here, suppose 22, which is basically inside the inverted commas, so it is the string. So if I'm going to run this program, you can see that it is saying that it is a wrong input because I am using a string here. So I can just remove this and run this program. You can see that it is working fine. So we have just completed the first practice program today. So let's move further. So we have any function. So in any function, we can just apply it here. So in these two lists, we have discussed the all function. So if instead of all, if I write here any, so any function, as we discussed earlier, will check each atom present in a list. If any atom in the list matches the certain criteria which we have inserted here, so it will return true. Otherwise, if not a single atom present in a list matches the criteria, then it will return false. So in num2, so if I write here num1, if I run this program, you can see that it is returning false. So why it is returning false? Because not a single atom present in num1 matches the condition here which we have mentioned here. So what if I write here 9? 9's remainder with 2 is not equals to 0 because it is an odd number. So if I'm going to run this program, you can see that it is returning true. Or if only a single atom in num1 matches the criteria, or matches the condition, you can say that so it is returning true. If not a single atom matches the criteria, then it is returning false. Now, I hope the difference between all function and any function is clear. So it is basically the same thing which we can be used for both purposes. Now, let's move towards minimum and maximum function. So there are so many advantages of using minimum and maximum function. Uh, they are the basically most usable functions. If we want to extract the maximum value of anything, we can extract it, or if we want to extract the minimum value of anything in the data, we can extract it by using the minimum function and by using the maximum function. All right, now let's discuss each. Now, to understand minimum and maximum function, I am going to create a list called names, and this list contain 3 elements. Now these are the 3 names in the list names. Now I want to extract the name which has more length. So I am going to, we have discussed minimum and maximum function in previous videos. So in today's video, we are going to learn them in a different way, in a more advanced way, so that we know the how can we use minimum and maximum functions by using a where we can basically connect the minimum and maximum function with the def functions which the are user more friendly, which we can create it by using the def keyword. Now I am going to name this function func, and suppose a is our argument of the function, so I want to extract them according to their length, so I can directly use the length function here and enter the argument. So I can directly now call my function. So uh, before calling my function, I have to use basically the maximum keyword. In order to extract the more length string at the output, I have to use the maximum function. If I want to extract the less length keyword at the output, I can use the minimum function, which is names. And after the names, in the second column, uh, there is a argument, we have key. So in this key we can assign the function which we have created by using the def keyword. So the function name is func, so I can directly write here func. So basically in key we can define the function here. So in the function we have written the condition that we have to count the length, and when the length will be processed in the keyword, so the maximum function will extract the maximum length of the word. All right, now as you can see, if I run this program, you can see here my name has the most length. So what if I want to extract the word which has the minimum length? So I can just directly, instead of max, I can just direct here minimum function, and again if I run this program, you can see that this name has the least length, so it is appearing at the output. So basically we are just creating this program in a basic level. When we are thinking about in a professional way, we can take the example of the Instagram. In Instagram we have so many accounts. All right, so if I want to extract the account which has the maximum followers, so I can directly use the maximum function. So I can directly extract out the maximum which has the maximum followers. All right, so there are so many more possibilities we can extract by using these two functions. So these two functions basically has the important role. All right, now let's proceed further. Now we have a practice program. We have to print the person's name who has the high score. To make this program, I am going to create a dictionary. So I am going to create a dictionary called students, because we are counting the score of the students. Now let's first name is mine. Now this dictionary called students has been created. So it has basically the three atoms. Each atom has its sub-values like score and age. Alright, these each name has two sub-values. Like the first main ID is this, and the second sub ID is its score and age. Alright, now I am going to extract the person which has the highest score. So I can directly, using the max function, I can directly write here the name of the dictionary first, and then I can directly use the key. So in the key, I have to mention the condition. I can directly use the, instead of using the def function to create another function and then call it here, I can directly create the function here by using the lambda function. All right. So in lambda, a variable, and I can is which is the students, which is the name of the, so students basically which students is the name of my dictionary, and then I have to, in the second I have to write the key here. So the key is score. I have the maximum value, so basically it will return all the scores which the students have gained, and then it will be stored in the variable a. I have to write here a, and the maximum function will extract out the maximum score. All right, now let's run this program. Now my name is appearing, so the maximum score, so if I write here suppose 300, which has the, now has the maximum score, if I again run this program, you can see that the output is changed. Now it is simple. Let's proceed further. We have the doc string. So what is doc string? So doc string we use for the hidden messages in our program. So behind the function, that what is the, if someone just look at our program and does not know how to and what is this program is doing, so we can use the doc strings basically. So if he can directly run this program, as he can run this program, the doc string will appear and say that this program is doing this, or it is called the hidden message. So now how the what is the format of the doc string? So to understand it, I'm going to create a function called add, and I'm going to, so basically I am just creating this function to understand you the doc string. So I can so in the doc string can be write like this. So I have to use the 3 and 3 in the left side and 3 in the right side. I can use both the single quote or double quote commas here to write the doc string. So I can write the doc string here. So I can write here this function takes two number and return its sum. So this function takes two numbers and return its sum. I have to write here returns. Now, so I can directly, in the next line I can directly return a plus b. All right, and I can directly print here. So now to call the doc string, the function which has basically the doc string here. So if I want to call this function, I have to just put here add. So after the add, I have to use the dot. So the dot is basically is necessary. It cannot be ignored. And after the dot, I have to use these underscores, and then I have to use doc, and then again. So as you can see, if I run this program, you can see that the hidden message is appearing at the output that this function takes two numbers and return its sum. So that's all about today. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe this channel for more videos. Please share this video with your family and friends. Thank you very much for watching, guys.